This is kind of weird for me, I'll be honest. I'm going live from my phone, which I think is actually the first time I've done this, so this is kind of awesome. But here I am in the Magical Man Cave, live on a Monday. So it's Magical Man Cave Mondays, hooray! I know I'm kind of talking to an empty room right now, which again is slightly weird for me. I normally go live on a computer, and because I'm going live on my mobile phone, kind of because that's the only way right now, I would normally have like a holding screen so people know that I'm going live, people get notified and all of that sort of thing. On this occasion, nobody has been notified, so, you know, whatever. I'm going to try, if I can, to catch up. So if you are already there and, you know, you're watching this, hello. Welcome to you, and I'd like you to say something in the comments just so I can read out and shout out you. So here I am. This is my Magical Man Cave, and at the moment I know it's not finished. I totally get that. That's why I'm doing Magical Man Cave Mondays, because I want to show you around, and I want to get some ideas from you on how to make it more magical. Now I do have an iPad here, so hopefully, with any luck, I'm going to be able to see. I've got on YouTube notification, so hopefully, if I show my face, there we go. Low power mode already. This is kind of crazy. Carol's Cauldron Born Creations, hello! Finally caught alive, yay! Hello, thank you for watching. Yeah, so this is, I know this is a bit weird, right? So this is my live show, I guess. This is my Magical Man Cave Mondays, hooray! I'm hoping I'm going to be able to do this on a Monday every week. I've just come back from a walk, which is why I'm a little bit sweaty, and you know, I thought I'd throw one of these things in. Now, so this is my Magical Man Cave. If you want to see anything, by all means, just shout me out and tell me what you want to see. I will do my best to keep up. So I'm just going to turn the lights on. I know they're like burning candles. It's amazing. So I've done all of this. So I basically turned the garage into a Magical Man Cave, or at least I'm turning it into. It's getting there. So you'll be able to see on the roof. It's kind of difficult to know where to start with all of this stuff. So if you want to see anything, just let me know. So up on the roof, let's start with the ceiling. I've got these wooden planks, but they're not really wooden planks because they started out life as a piece of foam like that. And then I carved some wood texture into it. Then I fireproofed it because safety is important. So hopefully you can still see the grain on that. I've been watching all of your videos. I love the light sconces. Thank you. Yeah, I got those from Amazon, so it's not anything particularly clever. But the light bulbs themselves are also from Amazon. If you type in candle bulb, you should, like candle LED probably, you should be able to see that. So once the wood has been blacked like that using the fireproofing paint, I then go over it with lots of different colours. So I'll show you this first of all. There's a dark brown, then, a dark brown, then a slightly lighter brown, and then finally like a sandy colour. Just to highlight it, and once it's all done it looks like this, so hopefully you can see that. So yeah, it kind of looks like that, or it looks like this behind the bar. So pardon me, still got a bit of a cough, getting over it. So that's kind of where I'm going with the wood stuff. I'm going to be paneling all of this roof to about here. Now this is the next thing. So this is the wire for the lights. It is live, got to be careful with it, and it's definitely not going to pass building regulations as it is at the moment, and nor is that smoke alarm, even though that is connected. So I've taken it kind of slightly off just so I can put the planks of wood on, and then I'll just put it all back again. So this cable here is great job, looks like a vintage tavern. Thank you. It's going to, it doesn't yet, but it will. So yeah, this light here, I'm going to terminate it in the middle and then extend it because I need to put some other lights in the middle as well. Now the reason that this is kind of hanging from the ceiling rather than being strapped to the ceiling, which would be ideal, is because this isn't finished. I'm actually going to be building an archway up from over here, up, over, and back down again. And on my iPad, which hopefully now has been charged, I don't know, well, it's at 6%, that's not great. I'll show you what I'm planning on here. So if I switch this around, almost like I've planned it. So this is the wiring diagram. So that's where it's coming from, the current ring main, which I've wired myself. And then if I turn this on, this is more what it's going to look like in real life, I suppose. So in the front here, this is the bar. So as you're looking at the bar, this is the bar. So that's the runes there. This is the flappy bit for the bar. I'll show you that in a second. This is a Ouija board, which is just for decoration. It's not going to be live, you know, as Ouija boards tend to be. There's going to be a box of ghosts here. There's going to be some ivy. I'll show you that in a second. There's going to be more stonework. Whoops, cancel that. There's going to be more stonework here, more ivy there. There's going to be some wand boxes up there. There's going to be a wine rack hanging from the archway, and then sunk into the archway here there's also going to be mandrakes. There's going to be skulls and ivy backgrounds and light and stuff like that. There's also going to be an on-air sign, which I'm probably going to put on the other side so that I can see it from here when I'm looking out. So if I look out towards the magical man cave like that, I can then see it when I'm looking out, and it'll just be up there in the corner. But I need to be careful of this, which is the fuse box. If I get in the way of that, there could be a problem, and it wouldn't pass building regs and all of that sort of stuff. So there's all of that. Now, there's so much to tell you. It's very exciting. Okay, so we've gone for the roof and the ceiling. There is also a hole up here, which does make this man cave quite chilly. At the moment, it's not too bad, actually. But when the temperature drops, all of the air kind of goes straight up there. And out through all of the vents and stuff. So I've got to be a bit careful how I go about doing that, because I still need the ventilation, but I don't want it to be cold. So I do need to insulate that. Now, moving on down, I think that's probably the best way of doing this tour. We've got a shelf. Again, I made this from scratch, so that's plywood under there, and then a bit of sort of fancy moulding here. And I put these brackets up. I've actually sunk those into the foam work. So this here is actually, again, foam, but it's all been carved and dented using the real rock, so it looks organic. Again, fireproof, painted black, and then highlighted with grey. And these Christmas lights, which have stopped here, but they will keep on going eventually when it's all done. And again, some ivy, which is lovely. This one is... You've probably seen this already on my other channel, Real Wizardry. If you haven't, subscribe. But this is the tankard paint job that I did. And after painting it with dishwasher safe Mod Podge, this has actually come out really, really nicely. Then I've got all of my metal funnels and a couple of cocktail making bits and bobs. There's some jiggers up there and things like that. Now, as I come down, I'll show you, it's a bit of a mess. Just be warned, it's a bit of a mess. So, ta-da! But this is one of the things that I wanted to show you. I've just got to make sure that because I'm trying to hold everything all in one hand at the moment, including a Wi-Fi charger, because I think my phone is probably going to die if I don't charge it. In here, this actually says wands, 7 galleons. So according to the Harry Potter books, wands cost 7 galleons. And I know it's a mess. I do know that. That's not too much of a worry. These are where I keep my magic wands, in other words, my remote controls. And this is what they do. So if I press the on button, you'll see, hopefully, the candles here come on. Yes, indeed, they are remote control candles. And they go on and off. Pretty neat, huh? I've also got some up here as well. So they'll turn on, and then you can turn them off as well. So that's that. I've also got another remote control, because on the other side of the bar, over here, we have a candelabra. And again, they go on and off as well. Behind that light, although you probably can't see it right now, there is actually an infrared blaster. So that should be able to control all the candles automatically. On the door over here, I have, hopefully you can see just at the end of my finger, just there, that's a door sensor. So whenever I open the door, all of the lights come on, except for these candle flicker bulbs, which are controlled by a switch down here. I wanted it to be a switch so that I can turn it on and off while I'm doing live streams from behind the bar. Great idea for remote lighting controls, thank you. Oh, yeah, I also forgot to show you this. Alexa, light off.
Okay.
So it's all controlled using that little blue ring up there. Never mind. But what's also really quite cool is that I can turn them on like this, and they actually, you see up here in the lantern, yeah, that goes on and off as well, again using the same remote control. Alexa, light on. But it's not just a normal light, it's also a blue light. So Alexa, Mancave main light blue. Alexa, Mancave main light blue.
Okay.
She doesn't always respond. The wand remotes don't cost 7 galleons. No, the remotes don't, unfortunately. but hey ho, never mind. Hopefully you can tell now that this is quite a nice atmospheric room. So if I'm just going to put down the charger. Hopefully I've got enough battery in my phone. I'm just going to put down the charger so that I can move around a little bit more. So this is the man cave, and that's kind of what you would see, apart from the mess. This is kind of what you would see on a live stream. So I'm hoping that that's looking quite good. Certainly fairly festive with the Christmas lights and things like that. But when the roof is done and the archway's done, it's going to look a lot better. I'm just going to come over here so that you can see this from a slightly different angle here. Again, excuse the mess, there is a lot of it and I'm fully aware of that. Trailblazer, looks good, thanks man. And welcome to my first Magical Man Cave Monday from my Magical Man Cave. Cool ambience, thank you very much. So again, just kind of imagine the archway over the bar there. There's going to have things glowing in it. I am starting to work out how to do this. So for example, hey Chivalrous Tube, hello, the Christmas lights should stay even after Christmas. They will. And thank you for watching. So I don't know whether anybody has seen this other than Chivalrous Tube. This here is the corner which I did a couple of days ago. I think it was on Saturday I did this. And in here there are shelves, or a shelf anyway. So that's where I'm going to be keeping my board games. There's going to be a secret cupboard, but it's going to look like stone. So this is going to be all, magnetic. So as you push it, it will then open using like a push rod from IKEA, which isn't very magical, but it's the idea. It's the idea. I've got so much to show everybody. It's really exciting. Okay. Over here is the Goblin sign, which you probably have seen before on my main channel, Real Wizardry. This is the Wizarding Bar Tariff. So hopefully you've seen that already. If you haven't, okay, fair enough. If you haven't already, by the way, please like, subscribe, all of that sort of thing. Not big enough for board games. It's big enough for some games, I think. Yeah. It's fairly big. Yeah. It may be not big enough for some games like Carcassonne and things like that, I don't know. But it's big enough for most things. Over here, I think I'm running out of light a little bit, so if you can't see, let me know. Definitely a subscriber. Oh, thank you very much. Pardon me. Over here, there's a chopping board, actually. I know it sounds a bit strange to be mounting a chopping board, but I think it kind of looks cool like that. I solemnly swear that my cooking tastes good. I think for a pub, is much better in a pub where we serve food and drink and things like that than in my house, personally. And I also, because it's engraved, you need some more games in your game, if your games will fit in there. That is true, I do need some more. So yeah, because this is slightly indented, I didn't want to use this as a chopping board because I kind of thought it's too nice. Do you know what I mean? Cool chopping board, yeah. It was actually a Christmas gift from you, Chivalrous Tube, but you know that. So I'm telling everybody else really. Yeah, because this is actually indented, I didn't want to get cheese and stuff in it because it would just end up really gunky and horrible fairly quickly. And I just thought it was too nice. This over here, hiding behind the candelabra, if I can just move it slightly out of the way, is a wanker bar. So I've got a wanker's golden ticket. Make of that as you will. Over here, on the back shelf, we've got a lovely skull and some tea light holders. You'd need to brush it. Yeah, I don't really want to do that. I think it just looks good on the wall. So these are tea light holders. So it's just a standard pumpkin. And this one was actually bought for me by my mother-in-law because I'm a bit of a weirdo and I get on with my mother-in-law. I think she's brilliant and she quite likes me, I think. So there you go. Great place for the chopping board. Yeah, on the wall. I know it sounds weird, but I think it looks good. And it doesn't really look like a chopping board anymore. It looks like a feature, which is kind of what I wanted. Right, working along from all the way up here. We've got the candles, we've got some bottles, and we've also got these things, which I discovered when I was writing the Magical Cocktail book. These are drink bombs. So you just unscrew, I don't know whether I can do this one-handed, probably not. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, so you unscrew the top, pour in here, and then you leave the top off actually. You don't put the top back on. And then you just dunk it in some Red Bull or, whatever you want to do. And it's like a Jaeger bomb, if you do Jägermeister. But you can do other bombs as well. I thought that was quite groovy. I've obviously got some optics. I don't think these are leaking, but it's undecided yet. So I'm still monitoring how quickly these things go down on their own without touching them. At the moment, it's looking fairly good, I think. Although the Bacardi does seem to have taken a bit of a hit. But I'm gonna monitor that. Red wine. No, the red wine's actually, where is it? Down here. Because I had a red wine on Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday because I woke up on Sunday very hungover. I had a few too many ciderunos. Ciderunos? What's that? Anyway, as we move back down, I'm trying to stay disciplined because there's so much to show you. It's been a while since I've done an update on here, and there's an awful lot. Hopefully you can see, although you probably can't, there is actually a star engraved into the stone here. What I wanted was a pentacle. Alexa, Mancave main light, cool white.
Okay.
Hopefully that makes it a little easier to see. So here it is here, that star. Can you see that? Hopefully you can, and then it's a circle there. Alexa, stop. She does like interrupting quite a lot. So I'm just going to turn off that light. There we go. Okay, keeping on moving down, and again, ignore all of the mess. There's drills and stuff. It kind of needs to be there because of what I'm doing. There's also this really cool thing, and hopefully Chivalrous Tube will recognise this. This is a bottle of wine holder, which I've dug out because it's for Christmas. So satanic. It's not satanic. Yeah, that's a misnomer. So a lot of people think that this five-pointed star is a satanic symbol. It's not. It's a witchcraft symbol, but it's one of protection. So there you go. I've got various little artifacts hidden around, like this little thing. You stole them from the Santa's elf. 2 bottles of wine, exactly. Yes, 2 bottles, very nice. So yeah, I've got little artifacts like this. I found this at a little car boot sale flea market thing, and it's also, the reason that I quite like it is because it's got this little stand as well, which I thought was quite cute. I don't really know the purpose for it. Only satanic if it's upside down. Actually, that's the 2nd degree of witchcraft. So again, not really satanic either. A lot of people think it's satanic because the Church of Satan has inherited it. But it's actually a Baphomet symbol, which is a horned god, often confused with Satan. But originally, it wasn't satanic at all, even upside down. Next up is my potions bottle opener, which is hiding in the corner at the moment, but I made this some time ago, and actually before I even had a man cave, before I even had a house, let alone this house. So upside down cross is satanic, that is, yes. Although also could be confused with other Christian symbols, but we'll maybe get to that in another video. So this is the potions bottle opener that I made about 4, maybe 5 years ago. Interesting, learn something new every day. Yeah, well, hopefully. That's one of the reasons I'm here. So yeah, this is a potions bottle opener, and when you open the bottle, it's just part of a routine that I've set up. Right, I'm muted. Am I back? Not anymore. Good. Yeah, sorry. That was a button press that my wife uses to tell me that she's taken her tablets. Very important, because if you don't take your tablets, weird things can happen. So I've got mandrakes, and this is just one of them. So this is a grumpy little fella. I haven't quite finished him yet. I need to paint in his eyes and do some gloss work and stuff like that. Then we've got this one. Although the pot is now finished, he's not. And then finally, well, I say finally, this guy, he's not quite right, which is why it's got some fragile tape on it. So yeah, he needs to be glued down properly. And then I've got another one inside the house as well. Before we leave this wall, I've got one other thing to show you. Well, maybe two. This one is some glowing mushrooms that I'm making, or have made already. They do actually glow, they do light up, and they use a 9-volt battery. He's just like me, ugly and fragile. Oh, bless you. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say you're ugly. Maybe fragile if you truly believe you are. So yeah, this is a 9-volt battery supplied glowing mushroom set. But here's the interesting thing. Tomorrow I'm getting some mains adapters. And this is for my 9-volt stuff. So that's one thing that's going to be glowing and attached to the archway that I'm making. And it's going to be connected to the mains. So it's not going to be just it's not just going to be battery operated anymore. It's going to be mains operated. And what that means is that I can then plug it into a smart switch. And because I can plug it into a smart switch, I can control it using my voice, which is cool. Yes, exactly. Connected to Alexa. And she didn't even go off when I said her name. That's good. The other thing that I'm doing as well, because I've got 2 of these electrical adapters coming, is to replace this 9-volt battery supply. Now, if you don't know what this is, I also made a video on this on my main channel, Real Wizardry. This is not what it looks like. It looks like just a piece of card, right? But it's got one of these behind it. I made this as a prototype a while ago, and it's an automatic stirring machine. So it actually stirs your drink by magic. Obviously not by magic, because it uses electricity. This is actually a computer fan with the blades cut off, and then you're not going to be able to see it, unfortunately, but inside you're just going to have to trust me. There are some magnets that creates a magnetic vortice, or a magnetic impeller, basically, and then you drop a magnet inside your glass. It's like a bar magnet. It's called a flea, and it's used in chemistry to stir drinks. So I'm going to build that into the bar and then use that to stir drinks as if by magic. So I'll just tap it with a magic wand. That will then actuate the power supply, and it will launch. It will start it up, which I think's pretty groovy. I'm very happy with it anyway, and it does work. Now, the other thing is I'm building that into a product fairly soon, and I'm going to be putting it out on Kickstarter. So if you want to see that, like, subscribe, ding the bell to be notified, because I will be telling everybody about it on all of my channels. And it's probably going to be quite hard to get away from. So if you're interested in that, subscribe, all of that stuff. Hopefully that'll keep you informed as and when it comes live. It's not going to be a particularly expensive thing, I don't think. Okay, am I back? Hopefully I'm back. She's pressed the button again. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so there's going to be a new product coming out that will allow you to stir a drink by magic. So that's going to be good. Chivalrous Tube said he can't wait for the cards to come out. So the cards are going to be my next project, I guess. It's kind of already been done, in as much as I have created this product. So these are cards which are going to be able to tell you how to make magical potions. Potions that bubble, burn, fizz, glow, spark, smoke, all of that cool stuff. But unlike this book, which is conveniently parked up there, unlike this book, which has all of the ingredients and how to do pretty much anything, how to make stuff from raw ingredients, the cards are designed so that you can just pick a card and then make a cocktail from it. And there's 76 cocktails in that card deck. So it's a pretty sizable deck. And it has all the instructions and ingredients and stuff, and it even has a photograph on every single card telling you how to make all of those different things. So, yeah, that's coming out soon, and it'll be available on my website. It's already available for pre-order if you want them. They should be arriving in this country on the 1st of December. Guaranteed delivery by Christmas if you order now. Gutted that your card game didn't get off the ground first time through. Looking forward to playtesting it again. When is your next games night? Because I would really like to go to it. Not that we've gone very much further with the card game yet, but there is a card game coming out. We are working on it. I might just make myself a drink in a minute as well. Okay, so working on down through. I've got some Bezoars in a little tub. Oh, I almost saw that, Andy. Let's have a look. 9th of December. Okay. Groovy. Yeah, so I should be there. Then, right, moving this ladder out of the way. So we've got a Bezoar, which is definitely sticky. So I wonder, something's dripping. Yeah. It's tasty though. No, I don't know what that is. Yeah, something's definitely dripping. Ooh. Yeah, is it the strawberry? It should be a week you can make. Hopefully, yeah. I'll need to check my diary, but yeah, we'll try to make that one. Okay, so I think maybe my optic may be leaking, which is not ideal. It tastes sweet, but there won't be any alcohol in it. Yeah, that one's definitely leaking. Well, that'll be why it's gone down so much. Anyway, okay, not great news. Not great news at all. I might need to replace them then. They were kind of plasticky and fairly cheap, so that's annoying though. Okay, anyway, moving on. So we've got some chocolate frogs. There is actually a chocolate frog in here. And then we've got the pumpkin sign, which says Sylvester, Brutus and Tim possess pumpkins, warning, do not feed. There's a very good reason for that, and the answer is actually over here. So if I turn the camera around again, this abomination of green nonsense is a pumpkin, believe it or not. It is actually a pumpkin. And when I say that, I don't just mean it's a model of a pumpkin. Inside here is a real pumpkin. The reason it looks like this is basically because I'm reusing the silicone and sort of doubling it back on itself just to thicken it up as much as I possibly can. The reason is, inside there's basically a skin layer. The skin layer is a very thin layer of silicone which captures all of the detail. Inside, underneath this skin layer, is an actual pumpkin that I grew in my pumpkin patch. And the reason that I wanted a pumpkin is because up on the wall, above where the sign is at the moment, just here, I'm going to have 3 pumpkins, one next to each other, and they're all going to talk. Yeah, you heard that right. So they're going to talk, they're going to sing, they're going to tell stories. And I know that sounds utterly bonkers, but that's kind of what I wanted to do. Where are we? Right, so over here, let me turn the camera around again, 1 second. There we go. I can talk about it a lot easier now. So these are some test tubes, and obviously I've got some Skittles in there, like why not? This is my mixology bottle, and it's a butterbeer bottle. Albus Dumbledore card. Magical potions sign, I suppose, that I made. Again, another shelf here with an apothecary, I can't say that, apothecary stand, another cauldron, some shot glasses. There's my Skelly Grow bottle. Now the cool thing about the Skelly Grow bottle is that I'm going to be able to rotate that and rotate it live. So that thing that it's sat on at the moment is a turntable. I'm going to put that embedded into the bar down here so that this can actually rotate on its own, and it will look just like it's rotating just by itself. I've got a jar of Skittles, they are real Skittles, and then a whole load of different vodkas flavoured by Skittles, and my book, which is available to buy on realwizardryshop.com and realwizardrystore.com. So yeah, check out that. Realwizardryshop.com is probably the best place to go. And then some Wolfsbane potion, which I made myself, and a little pumpkin, which I made myself. And then we've got some shot glasses, a chest of drawers, and a whole load of potions, including this glowing one. Now this glowing one is kind of cool because I can actually turn it off and on again, because it's got some UV lights under there, which normally you wouldn't probably notice until such time as I did turn off that light to stop it from glowing. So I'm probably going to create a few more of these glowing ones. This is actually just screen wash. That's pink screen wash, but it doesn't glow as much as the green one. So I'm probably going to buy some more green stuff so that they glow really nicely on camera. A whole load of bottles. I'm actually going to put another shelf in just here, and if you zoom out a little bit you should be able to see the sign of the Deathly Hallows engraved into the stone there, which I think is quite groovy. We've got 2 people. One of you has dropped off, don't know who has, but can the other 2 say hello or something so I know which one's disappeared? That would be good to know. Right, so I've got a whole load of stuff on the floor, including drinks mixers and things like that. I guess behind here it might be worth sort of showing you what's actually behind the bar. So a whole load of bottles and stuff like that. Carol's left. Okay, fair enough. Carol said her chickens are hungry. Oh yeah, she's got chickens, I forgot about that. Oh, got to watch the replay because my chickens are hungry, lol, thanks for the live. Thanks, Carol. Katie Christensen's here. Hello, we're back to 3. That's cool. So, yeah, I'm just doing a bit of a tour of my magical man cave and showing off the entire mess that's everywhere at the moment. So, I've got things like this No More Nails gun, which has been invaluable for stuff, actually, especially sticking on the wall tiles and things like that. I've got drills, and I've got the silicone stuff and car keys and screws and all of that sort of stuff. So, you know, it is a proper mess. And there's my gimbal as well, which I was going to use, but then I needed to charge my phone, so I didn't. Again, I've got things like this, where I've actually put the sockets in myself. I've got a custom magic wand. This is actually my Wizarding World magic wand, courtesy of Chivalrous Tube, so thank you very much for that. And if you haven't already seen this, there is actually a video on my main channel, Real Wizardry, and Then this one. Now this one's an interesting one because this one hasn't been fully painted yet, clearly, which is why it's kind of a pearlescent white. This is actually a remote wand, sort of. And it's actually got a bit of fireproofing paint on it, so I'm going to have to get that off. Oh, that's annoying. But I'm going to paint over it, so it's not really the end of the world. Anyway, in the end of this one, right at the very, very tip, just here, is an RFID chip. So the RFID chip, it kind of looks good white. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, I think there was something in Supergirl, was it? Where it had a wand that looked a little bit like this, to be honest. And it was like the wand of creation or something. I don't know what it was. Anyway, this thing pairs with various things. And there's going to be a video coming up about a runestone that turns lights on and off using that magic wand. So that's cool. And watch this space. But also there's a nightlight as well. So if I come over here, this is a dragon's egg, sort of. Again, not painted, and I need to paint it in such a way. It reminds me of unicorn horn. Yeah, it is kind of. I need to paint this in such a way that it is still translucent. But here I've got some repair work to do. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to repair this. It's been 3D printed, but it's been battered around in a couple of house moves, or at least one house move anyway. And yeah, it's been a little bit worse for wear, so I do need to repair this, especially considering that that breakage is right on the very front. So I'm probably going to need to sand it down, repair it somehow, not quite sure how. And then we've got the Aladdin's lamp, which I was going to do an illusion for, and I still might in the archway that I talked about earlier. This unfiltered poison is actually from Hobbycraft, but the drink inside, although it's not, it's not poison. It may as well be because it's full of E numbers and it makes your kids hyper. Easier to print a new one, Andy said. Not for me because I don't have a 3D printer. I actually bought that one from the Cauldron. But anyway, pickled eggs. Pickled eggs are essential in any pub. So I don't care what you say, they are amazing. I love them. And then I've got a lot more Wolfsbane potions. So if you want to buy one, go on to realwizardryshop.com and I think they're available from there. This is a cool little curiosity over here. This is a cryptic. And I won't tell you the code, but basically you turn these into whatever it says. And then this pops out. And inside it contains something. So you could leave that outside as a ring safe, although it's not particularly safe because you could just nab it. Pickled anything. What? Right, fair enough. Kaylee doesn't like pickled anything. Okay, bit broad sweeping, but maybe you don't like the taste of vinegar. So I would quite like to chop this one open, but I don't think I'm going to just yet, simply because I want to make a hard shell around it so that it will hold its shape. And it's also a little bit squiffy at the moment, so I need to make sure that this is thick enough that it's going to hold its shape when I cut it open. Okay, so moving over here, that red thing there is actually a candy floss machine. There's a Halloween bowl of candy, but without the candy, on top. And then various things like building materials and this spirit level and all that sort of jazz. Okay, moving on over here then. This is where it starts to get a little bit more exciting. So we've got some decorations, the Ravenclaw crest, my sort of family crest. I know it's not the Trigger family, but it's the Air family. Gotta say I made roughly 4 poison apples since Friday. Definitely my new favourite drink. Oh, cool. I agree with Kaylee, I must watch her video. It's on my list to watch. You agree with Kaylee? What about the bleh? Yeah. So this is the poster of Undesirable #1 and Sirius Black. Unfortunately, Sirius Black was already dead by the time Harry Potter became Undesirable #1. So for a hardcore Potterhead, that's a little bit annoying, but there we are. This is the night bus ticket, which hopefully you can see on camera. I've never really been able to do it justice on camera, but maybe that works. And then this golden frame, Wicked, thanks, Trailblazer. Yeah, it's a good video. I really liked it, and not just because you wax lyrical about how great the cocktail is. But yeah, four poison apple cocktails. That's rather a lot. You'd be rather tipsy. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this bit. So, obviously, plug socket and she who must not be named. Then we've got up here. This is my strobe light. So one of my friends, Martin, big shout out to you. Hello, if you're watching this, he actually created a circuit board so that it can pick up the. Expect a comment from me soon, and maybe a like too. That'd be nice. Yeah, so he created a circuit board for me so that if I play a sound, it will pick up the peak of that sound and then it'll trigger the lights to go off, which means that I can have thunder and lightning inside my magical man cave. So I've got one light up here. I've got another one that's going to go in that corner. That one's already up there. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to put one in that corner as well. Okay, moving on down, we've got the robes hook. I've actually got two robes now, which is slightly annoying actually, because I lost one of my robes completely, and I thought, oh, I really want to do a video, but I don't have a robe. So I bought a new robe, and then literally like 2 days later, found another one. Thunder and lightning sounds are awesome, yeah. And then here we've got the TV. Now, the big plan for this ultimately is going to be just here, a massive TV, and that's going to only show snowing windows. Or a snowing window scene. So if you've already seen the Magical Man Cave channel before, you'll have seen, hopefully, the magical window that I've created. So I'm going to eventually put buttons up so that it can change the media player to different videos. So that'll be cool. And I am looking forward to that. But whether or not that's going to be anytime soon, I doubt it, to be honest, because there's so much money that I need to pour into this place. So, for example, I need to buy a fairly sizable fridge for behind the bar. I want to build the archway. That's the next big thing, actually. And then building into the archway, things like the box of ghosts, the illusions, all of that sort of stuff. Then I want the TV. I want a fireplace in that corner, just down there. Crowdfund it. The problem is, right, I would be quite up for crowdfunding it. However, what would I offer in exchange? Because it's almost like, hey, pay for my garage. How would I propose that as a deal that people would actually fork out for? Because I'm perfectly willing to offer something. I just don't know what people would want. If that's cocktail lessons, then yeah, maybe I could do that. I mean, I'd be quite happy to do a cocktail lesson every Magical Monday, Magical Mancave Monday. So I'd be quite happy to do like a Magical Mancave Mondays cocktail lesson extravaganza, maybe. But I need to avoid it sounding like, hey, pay for my man cave. Put people's names somewhere. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I could definitely do that. I don't quite know how I'd position it. If I were to do like a Kickstarter for it, I could definitely put people's names on a plaque and then put that either behind the bar or even on the wall, like a wall of fame or a wall of name. That might be quite funny. Yeah. I could even maybe curse them. Pay for people to be cursed. That might be... I don't know. That would attract a certain type of person, but maybe I could offer it. Just say, you know, names of the damned or something like that. That might be fun. Yeah. I think maybe I'll still have a think about that. But I like the idea of crowdfunding it. I know you'll think of something. Yeah, I just need it to be something other than pay for my man cave. You know, I I want a fridge. Buy me a fridge, please. I've got to be very careful how I do that, and I want to offer. This isn't just sort of spin. I genuinely want to offer something that people would be willing to buy, and not just because they like me, not just because they feel sorry for me, not just because I'm begging. I want it to be a genuine exchange of money for something of value. I want to offer as much value as I can to people, and I want to make people happy at the end of the day. That's what I'm all about. So, bring it on, man. Let's do it. Right, the final thing, I think, is this. And it's not very exciting for you, but this is a heater. And out here, it's really important to be warm, and at the moment it's kind of not. So the cool thing is that I can sit out here, a cocktail evening in the finished Mancave. That would be good, but only if you live in and around this area. A cocktail evening would probably need to cost a lot. What about a gobble-in gift set, such as a coaster and a mug, tankard, something like that? I've got coasters, actually. A mug, for sure. A tankard might be more expensive to produce. But yeah, that sort of thing. In fact, most people, I would say, on the Kickstarters so far, who have bought a glass, want a gobble-in glass. 1,000 different people, you'll spend more money on the drinks. Yeah, that's kind of my problem. I think if I were to say, all right, it's a cocktail evening, if I have, for example, because a lot of I've done 2 Kickstarters successfully now, and they've gone from 266 to 287. If I were to expect the same rate of expansion, it would be about 300 people. 300 people coming in here ain't going to happen. We might be able to get 30 at a ridiculous push, probably more like 10. Even then, it's going to probably feel quite crowded. So, pardon me. And I'd also potentially need to contest with licensing. Same with merch. Someone pays 50 quid, but your profit is only 10. Impossible to make a decent profit. Yeah, you're probably right on that. I think I'd be able to do like t-shirts and stuff like that. Different tiers of backing. Yeah. I mean, if someone paid a couple of £100, I'd probably be able to do like a private cocktail lesson or something like that online, which I did on a previous Kickstarter, and one person took it up. So I don't think there's really the appetite for that either. Different things like a mug, maybe. T-shirts would be a good idea. Okay, so I could do things like that. I could definitely do merch stuff. I could probably get people to, like I could name a cocktail after them or something like that. I just kind of wonder how I would go about the whole naming of the project. Like, how do I say, pay for the Mancave, pay for a fridge, pay for, how would I do that? I don't know. There needs to be some sort of decent headline that is new, that no one else can get anywhere else. And that's the problem I'm having right now. I'm not writing anything on my car. No way. So for anyone who doesn't know, Carly is my car, which is why her name is Carly. It's funny, right? And I think the next car is going to be called Sparky. I think Laura's already named it Sparky because it's an electric. Yeah, that's about as sophisticated as we go on things like that, I'm afraid. Yeah, or it might be Lexi, as in electric Lexi. Yeah. So that sort of thing, anyway. But I don't know how I can sort of do that as a headliner. It would be good if I could, but I'm not sure I can. I'm just going to take out my charger, and I'm also going to grab myself a drink so that I can stay live a little bit longer. Because I'm enjoying talking to you guys. I've kind of missed you, to be honest. I do genuinely miss my live shows because I haven't done them for such a long time. Is that Carly is better? Yeah, I think that's fair. No, I genuinely miss my live shows because I don't. Yeah, you miss Frank. I know you do. I know you do. I think most people miss Frank more than they missed me. For those of you who don't know, I think everybody knows, to be honest. Got to go now, mate. All looks great. Can't wait to see it for real. Thanks, mate. A whiteboard maker. Oh, hold on. We miss you too. Thanks, man. 1 week of driving around with everyone's names. That would be interesting. Although I'm not sure that's a good idea on a leased vehicle, though. A bold font. Frank is a real host, let's be fair. Yeah, fair enough. I know everybody likes Frank more than me. It's just something I'm going to have to get over. Marker, I thought that's what you meant, Kaylee. Yeah, I don't think that's a great idea. Sorry, but I'm not sure Laura would go for it on a leased car. Quite understandably, to be honest. This is just ginger ale. Don't panic. I'm not drinking on a weekday. It's only Monday, so let's take it easy, shall we? Also, I didn't drink last night, but on Saturday I did have a few ciders, a mulled wine. I was feeling rough, to be honest. So much for a dry week. Bad idea, but funny. True. 1 day in. This is non-alcoholic ginger ale. I know it says ale, but it's just ginger. Yeah. Crafted for whiskies or rum. Or enjoy on its own. And I'm just enjoying it on its own. Non-alcoholic ginger ale. I quite like it. Tricking your mind. No, not at all. But the fact that it says for whiskies or rum, and I'm not indulging in either, I should be applauded. Well done me. Yeah. I'm very proud of that. It's been a lot of work to get it to that stage, but I don't want to be one of these people who just gives up at this point. I've got so many ideas, and actually it's getting to the point now where it's really quite exciting because I can start to add invisible stuff that does things. So that should be quite cool. Hopefully you've enjoyed the little tour of my magical man cave. I know it's been a whistle stop, and I know it's been me just talking non-stop. I suppose that's kind of what live streams are anyway, so maybe that's not too much of a bad thing. Alexa, Mancave main light blue.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like the ambience of this. And I think...
Sorry, I don't know that one.
She always does that. I think when the fireplace is on, that's going to start looking really cool. Wisdom 2000, so you're feeling pretty rough. Oh, man. Well, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I think I'm going to be going fairly soon now anyway, because it's coming up to the 1 hour mark. But I'm just really pleased that people came on and said hello and things like that. So, you know, if you are watching this on repeat, please do drop me a like, share with your friends, and, you know, subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate that. And again, thank you so much for interacting and talking to me. It's always a bit daunting, especially on a new channel like this one, where I don't know whether people are going to drop in and say hello or not. I certainly didn't give anybody, except maybe Chivalrous Tube, any notification that I might be going live today. And I even wasn't sure myself whether or not I'd actually pluck up the courage and do it. I suppose the only other thing that I haven't really mentioned yet on this live stream is this Chesterfield sofa, or armchair I should say. So I'm hoping to make a full Chesterfield armchair. of Chesterfield's sofa. I know you're 20 minutes late, but you know. Can't wait to see it all finish. Very exciting. Thank you. I'm hoping it's probably going to be done by next Christmas. I'd like it to be done sooner, but again, it all really depends on funding and time, because this is not cheap. That over there used to be a garage door. It's all been blocked up. It's all been insulated. A stud wall made up, and then insulated twice, and then that green stuff there. That's the vapor barrier. That's on this side of the wall, and then taped up and all of that sort of stuff everywhere. Obviously, the ceiling's been done. The same thing that's been done on that wall has pretty much been done on every other wall, and then carving and all of that sort of stuff. I got it to a point where that stone was so realistic it would fool a slug that was walking on it, and then I did a fire test to see whether or not it would just burst into flames, and it did. Something told me to click on the Real Wizardry link in your description, and the first thing I saw is remember... what? 1 second. Is you've been a member for 1 year, 1 month, and 11 days. Oh, angel number 1111 1 1 1 1 1 1. Weird, man. So yeah, the fire test failed absolutely miserably, and then I then had to paint over all of the excellent, and it really was excellent, paintwork in order to make that fireproof and safe. I was gutted, and it did set me back a couple of days because I was moping and moaning and getting all upset. But there we are. Oh, dear me. That clears out the sinuses. So, yes, thank you ever so much for watching, and please do hang about, not just on this live stream, but on this channel in total, because I'm going to put glowing runes behind the bar. So close to the last badge now, you need to add new ones. Bless you. Thank you. Yeah, I do need to add new ones. Thank you, Kaylee. Yeah, so I'm going to put glowing runes and stuff behind the bar. There's going to be glowing things like glowing mushrooms and stuff on the archway. There's going to be lights behind the archway shooting down at me. There's also going to be a hardwired microphone. I've decided that I'm going to hardwire a microphone. It's then going to come down into a mixing desk, which I've already got. I just need to find the power adapter for it, which is probably in here somewhere. And then that way I can see the fact that the microphone is on. The reason I want to see it is because often when I'm using my mobile phone to record my videos, I've got to unplug it to test whether or not that vocal came out. And in the act of unplugging, it kind of resets everything anyway. So unplugging it and testing it is totally pointless, because by the time I plug it back in again, I'm just going to have to hope that it's all working again. So just seeing that sort of green tick go up to the right point, that should then tell me that I'm recording the audio. I will need to record it as a separate file, but that's not really the end of the world. I'm not too worried about that, because the video and the audio can be recorded separately. What that also means is that if I use two different cameras, one to record the audio and one to record the video, the audio recording can be from a different angle. So if I download both of them anyway onto my computer, then not only do I have guaranteed decent audio, but also two different camera angles that I can use. So I can use one for a long shot of the man cave like this, and one for really close-up fiddly stuff while I'm actually making cocktails or doing magic tricks or whatever. And I also want to do more magic tricks from behind the bar, which is one of the reasons that I wanted to build the bar in the first place. So there's going to be more magic tricks, there's going to be more cocktails, there's going to be more talking head stuff. The other thing is, from the top here, I'm actually going to hang, yes, my green screen. So when it comes down, it will be in the perfect position so that I can just do a talking head thing like I normally do anyway on my other channels, and even on this channel, to be honest, which I normally record in the office, but number one, I can do this anytime, so I can come down here and not disturb anybody because it's in my garage and no one's going to stop me. And number two, I can sort of flip between being in the dungeon and being in the bar just by pulling up or down the green screen. And I can then switch it using the Stream Deck, which is also going to be out here. I'm also going to have a live streaming computer, probably in that corner over here, behind the chimney breast, which is going to be a fake chimney breast because I'm not allowed a real fire in here anyway. And then that's going to be hardwired to the archway, which is where the key light's going to be. And then I'm going to have all the streaming stuff behind the bar, which is then going to be controlled, you know. So I can have Frank behind the bar with me, all of that stuff. So that's the ultimate goal. And as you can probably tell, there's a bar area, there's a lounge area, and although the heater's on at the moment and it's pumping out a fair amount of heat, it's not meaty enough to heat the whole space, especially with a massive hole in the ceiling. So I'm going to have to repair this hole in the ceiling. I'm going to need to get a new heater, a much better heater, and that's, you know, more expensive as well, obviously. I'm going to need to build a fireplace. I want a fireplace for Christmas, but that's just not going to happen this year unless I get a lot of money in, because there's a lot of other things I need to spend my money on, including shipping out all of the cocktail cards to the people who've already bought them. So they've already bought it. I'm already committed. I need to fulfill all of those orders. So yeah, I'm already in for many thousands of pounds, and I know that. But I think it's going in the right direction, slowly. It would be nice if I had more money, but, you know, it's just one of those things, isn't it? This is the fulfillment, or it's getting to be a fulfillment of a dream, and it's just nice to have some company. So thanks again, and I think we're over an hour now, so I think now's a good time to log off before I get all teary and thankful that you're here with me. So yeah, cheers guys, and hopefully I'll see you again on the next Magical Mancave Monday, which is probably, hopefully, going to be next week, but I guess we'll see what happens. Yeah, so stick around. Hopefully I'll see you again. Cheers then, bye bye.